We see CrunCher, our American Protoss, spawning in the right top side of the map, being our blue Protoss.
And his opponent, Dignitas Select, up in the top left.
Yep.
Wearing them red colors. Sup, son?
Man, I'm very sad. Someone just tweeted me saying that every time I use a meme reference, you should slap me on the head. I thought everybody loves these memes nowadays.
Someone tweeted at me something very derogatory.
Yeah.
Because I rage quit a ladder game earlier today, so I retweeted him.
Not just today. You rage
I've been terrible on that.
I really think it's about time that you start playing ladder anonymously because anonymous.
I agree. It's not been a good run for me recently. So.
And you're tempering up, man.
I have been. I've never been so tilted.
I do not want to have another caster accident.
Like I just quit games on the loading screen sometimes.
Yes, he actually does. I've seen that. Another CVC!
Well, you get like 9 in a row, and it's just like, this is this game.
Look at SeleCT, by the way. He's opening double racks.
2 racks action.
Interesting. He doesn't have any gas yet, so I kind of wonder what he's going to do with it. Maybe he's just going to pull SCVs as he sees that CrunCher is going for the 1-gate expand.
Yeah, I don't know.
CrunCher does get the big scout off.
Scout.
That's really big right now, because this will force CrunCher to play a bit more safe right now. If CrunCher was Nident, he would make a defensive 4-gate. I'm not sure if he's going that defensive, but
he should definitely 3-gate. And he doesn't really have to do anything. He can just sit up at the top of his ramp.
He can just chrono boost out units that actually fight, and then he's going to be fine. As soon as he has a Stalker, he's going to be able to get a ton of information with that. And he can still expand, but I would just suggest to do it a little bit later. Maybe get a 2nd gate before you actually expand. We'll see what where SeleCT is going to take this. He's saving up a little bit of money though, so I think he might just expand after all.
Yeah. Pretty good after getting his build scouted, and we can pretty much count on CrunCher playing
a little bit more careful.
Yeah, a bit more defensively. He does have 1 SCV still out on the no wait, CrunCher doesn't have SCVs. He has probes, and he does have 1 probe still out on the map, sitting at that Zelnaga tower.
Yep, SeleCT is gonna float over the Rex to his natural expand, and we do see him there dropping the command center, so SeleCT going for an expand after all. Maybe if CrunCher wouldn't have scouted it, SeleCT would have played it different, but right now there's no reason for SeleCT to risk anything. We might still see a big marine push though, something that we haven't seen in a long time, which kind of used to be the standard in these no gas flash expand builds. And back then when I lived together with the Muslim, I trained, I wouldn't say a lot with the Muslim, because in general I don't really like to play with people I live with, but we played a few games against each other, and I really hated these random marine pushes that he made, or even with a few Marauders whenever I went for a quick expand. Something that kind of faded away because Protoss players just realized, okay, 3 gates, get a few sentries, you'll always be able to hold your ramp. But it used to be kind of fun, and maybe SeleCT is going for something like this right now.
CrunCher did expand off of just 2 gates though, so he's not going to have that many units at his disposal. Finally he sees SeleCT out in the middle of the map, but that doesn't scare him that much. He's still out. Well, now he backs up into his natural. Still no extra gateways though.
Getting an additional Rex up, and as you said, he did drop double refinery right now. CrunCher going for that expand after all. He's on 2 gates, so he did exactly what I probably would have done. Just drop 1 more gate just to be safe, and then you can still expand, because you cannot be overly safe in case you get tricked. He does find 1 marine over there from SeleCT. SeleCT is controlling the middle right now, which I think is a little bit sloppy from CrunCher. And with Stalkers in this phase of the game, Protoss should always control the map. SeleCT should actually have a really hard time scouting. Stalkers should be positioned right here. Anything that leaves, Stalkers kill it. And if it's a ton of marines, then you have enough time to retreat and do something about it. Because if we take a look at CrunCher's vision right now, he could really be surprised. But he's gonna work on that right now, so good job CrunCher.
SeleCT moving up towards those medevacs as his first factory is about halfway complete. And this is economically very solid for CrunCher. He's got a small well,
I actually don't
now
agree
the
with
2nd
that
orbital's done. I have to eat my words.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's 5 probes ahead, which is okay, but before he was only 3 probes ahead, and that's really not what you want. You want to be more probes.
Robo does come down, come down from CrunCher, so that will be his initial tech of choice.
So sad, Idra's not playing today as well. Yeah, for the people who wonder, isn't Idra in this group as well? Yes, he is. But since we have 9 players in a group, only 8 of them can play, and Idra has the week off. But the good news is, for the upcoming 7 weeks, we will have Idra.
We get Greg every Saturday.
Man, I'm looking forward to having Saturdays.
More Grack than you can handle.
No, never enough.
All that Grack.
Grack is one of those things I can never have enough of.
Grackaroni and cheese.
Not bad. See SeleCT researching Stim now as well. CrunCher is pulling ahead in the worker tab, so that at least sells something good for him. But he's really going to have to deal with those drops a lot better than he did in Tal'Darim Altar. Otherwise, we're just going to see the same thing all over again. he's going to be in trouble. You stated, Ben, on Tal'Darim that CrunCher used to be known for 2-base all-ins and that he loves them. Let's see.
Yeah.
Shakuras would be a lot better for that than Tal'Darim Ultra is, because it's just a lot closer. And certainly a push like Squirtle did oh so often at the IPL. Just 3 Colossus and then 6, 7, 8 gates. That's really scary and it can be quite tough for Terran to deal with.
Could be something like that as the robotic spade just went down. First observer is going to come out for CrunCher, and with that he'll finally be able to confirm exactly what his opponent has been up to. SeleCT in the meantime is still just doing what SeleCT does, even adding a 3rd orbital over here in the back of his natural. Or back of his main, I should say.
Some Terrans aren't afraid to go late game against. Ooh, he's actually, yeah, is he gonna spot the factory? Yes, he will. Could have actually been annoying. Sometimes his factory lands there, suddenly 2 Hellions roll out, which is really annoying. Of course, that shouldn't happen, and you should have 2 units over there. But
That's something we've seen Puma do a lot.
yeah, that's good, man. Speaking of factories, can really catch you off guard.
One of the best Terran units in the game.
Yeah, if you ask MVP, what's your favorite Terran unit? The factory.
SeleCT's got a couple medevacs and some units moving around the middle of the map. He'll finally take this center control back from CrunCher, who's been sitting on these towers for a little bit.
I hope he actually is going to move his Stalker. Yes, he does. Good job by CrunCher right there. What I want to say is that Terrans nowadays are sometimes a little bit afraid to go very late game against Protoss just because of high Templars, Archons, and Charge Tools with upgrades. And yeah, they're kind of scared of it. CrunCher not paying attention to this Stalker. A little bit sloppy because Stalkers are expensive units. You just do not want to throw them away like this. But I think SeleCT is going to be quite comfortable knowing how Tal'Darim Altar played out and knowing that he can probably pick CrunCher apart by multitasking. SeleCT lagging there for a little bit, but no biggie. He's still in. Just shows that the game is live and Pinky Promise Rotti is still always on.
SeleCT finds no 3rd base here, and is even going to check the bottom main base.
We already see 2 additional gates going up, by the way. He has 1 forge though. He's getting his 2nd forge, so maybe he's not going for a 2-base all-in.
Yeah, it looks like he wants, obviously he wants to get these upgrades going. You don't build forges at 11 minutes for cannons.
No.
But SeleCT does spot one of these pylons. He'll be able to pick that off. And CrunCher just kind of sitting on this top Zonaga tower, throws down that 3rd expansion.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. I'm curious to see how this is going to
He's got a solid army. Like with the Colossi out, there's not a whole hell of a lot SeleCT can do to pressure him. And you know, SeleCT's still on just Marine Marauder medevac, which is great. Certainly very, very good, very mobile. But in heads-up fights, Colossus Sentry is going to be
boss.
Even better, yeah.
Just say boss. And SeleCT is going to spot this new base from CrunCher right now. He's going to pick up Stalker again as well. If take a look at units lost so far, not all that much happened. Big stim right now, but SeleCT.
It is a big stim. Runs away when the sentries get close enough to cast, and we'll go right back home. Supply-wise, very even game. Economically, pretty even game as well, as about 7 workers separate the 2 players.
We do have that starport right now with the reactor, even though we had that for a while already. But what I want to say is finally using it for Vikings right now, since we have quite a few medevacts on the map. 4 or 6 maybe even. Yes, we have 6 medevacts. He's going to try to drop after all. Despite knowing about these 2 cannons, he's going to try to avoid them.
And there's even a 3rd cannon in the back of the main, so
this would have been the better position to drop. But of course, SeleCT does not know what we know.
Sends the factory forward to make sure that CrunCher's army is still where he wants it to be.
I think with those 2 Colossus and wiping in a few Zealots, it should be okay. Certainly if there's a cannon, he's going to wipe in a Stalker right now. This is going to be interesting.
Ill-fated Stalker is going to die very quickly.
Oh,
but the Colossi are very close. One of them is going to take a lot of damage. One of them is going to fall. Yes, it does go down.
But it wasn't for free.
No, it wasn't, and I'm not sure if it was worth it. SeleCT trying to make a second prong on this attack, pushing up towards the 3rd expansion, but CrunCher's in position this time, so controlling this, managing this harass a little bit better here.
Why does CrunCher hate Twilight Council upgrades so much?
It has to be a mistake. It really does. I mean, his play's not been perfect. He's playing pretty solid here in this this second map.
I mean, so far I like it because it's not easy to play against SeleCT for 14 minutes and still be even or maybe even slightly ahead, because he's going to be on 3 base Protoss with double forge. Picks up those 2 medevacs right now. And you can see, well, CrunCher lost a little bit more, but he already did that before this whole engagement happened. So I would say so far so good for CrunCher. So he's definitely playing quite okay. Finally, we see him starting off with Blink, which surprised me a little bit, because right now I actually would have preferred Charge, because he has Colossus on the map, he has cannons.
He has High Templar coming.
Yeah, so drops are not that scary anymore. Of course.
Ooh, this is a mistake. Gonna lose 3 Stalkers. Well, at least 2 Stalkers. The Zealot's gonna fall, and CrunCher's gonna have to back up, lick his wounds a little bit. SeleCT knows there's no base down at the bottom of the map, but he also has that medevac, or those 2 medevacs, so he can start harassing with these units. SeleCT's taking a 3rd base on the back of all this.
Well, CrunCher is very drop proof. Ooh,
I like that he's using these cannons. I mean,
Yeah.
we can see that he's got a bit of a mineral surplus. His macro maybe not quite perfect, but the cannons add that extra security. And if Select doesn't watch those medevacs close and he flies into that, he's going to be down some pretty costly units.
Yep, I think Select is right now just going to stall until he really has ghosts as well. He's not going for any big fights in the near future. He's going to try to delay this fort base. We see Select already taking a fort base over here in the left bottom side of this map. Oh, he did cancel it, right?
No, never even started it.
Okay.
He's put down a pylon,
Yeah, I was sorry.
but the Marauders picking off that probe. So maybe the pylon wasn't canceled, but he didn't lose more than 100 minerals there.
Select is moving out with a big fight right now,
Wow,
but
and
Storm is halfway done. I think if Storm would be ready, well, CrunCher really needs some more army supply. He's really slacking.
And he needs to get into position. His
117
army's in the
against
wrong
72.
place, and I don't like the gateway positioning of CrunCher. He's going to choke himself when he comes to defend this. And
Going to be able to land great Storm. Storm's going to be ready within 20 seconds.
a lot of Colossi
Vikings
here. The Vikings going to do tons of damage to him, just getting 2 shots to kill those Colossi. Stalker's doing an okay job of getting position, but like we said, those gateways really complicate things.
He has
really
Blink right now, finally. So with good Storms, he's actually going to be
he
hit.
could blink up onto that high ground.
Oh, big drop going on in the natural as well. He avoided
great
those
play
cannons.
by Select. And finally Storms do finish, so CrunCher going to start to repel this, but I don't even know if he's seen the drop in his natural yet.
I think he's seen it because he wiped in a lot of Zealots, but how is he going to deal with it? Select is dropping in supply a little bit though. Beautiful position right now. If only those Zealots had charge band, it would have been so much better.
Yeah. Sucks to be that Marine out in front of that line. Stalkers could blink under the medevacs, and then finally they do. And CrunCher does clean this up, but still Select continues to push up into this third
He
base.
puts force field right now. He has Storms. No, he has Storm. Beautiful Storm by CrunCher.
Yeah, very, very nice job there. Medevacs running a little bit low on energy. They're going to have to do some serious work.
No,
Vikings actually going to land.
like
That's an odd choice.
I kind of like those blink. I kind of like that blink, even though a lot of Marauders were stimped. But if he's going to micro properly right now, ooh, the Archon.
Yeah,
not able to
Archon's
fight.
really bottled up right now. Needs to get
One more
out from
blink.
behind there. CrunCher knows it.
Still, I think CrunCher came out of that quite okay. He lost a few probes, of course, due to that drop, but he stayed alive, and that's the most important thing in the game right now for CrunCher. And we also see his upgrades. 3-3 is going to be ready in the near future. At least his armor upgrade is going to be ready real soon. Attack is going to take a little while. CrunCher, please get charged, and I'll be really happy.
Yeah. Continuing to add High Templar. Select is on 4 base, though, and
Getting an additional robo.
income-wise, he's really out-mining CrunCher. Those extra mules just
Wow,
make a
2,500
huge
minerals
difference.
a minute.
Yeah.
Then again, a Protoss who's on 1,600 minerals a minute can't really complain either. All those High Templars are so exposed. Should be careful.
Colossus also pretty exposed. Takes a lot of damage before running back, and here comes the Stalkers and the 1 Archon. Trying to hold it down. Select in full retreat right now. Doesn't want to fight this army.
Very nice, using the side block to pick off at least the Stalker. He wants to pick off more.
Where are these guys going? Just a little
The Archon is not afraid.
little jog through Shakuras.
Not afraid to take a stand.
Oh, Storm goes down. Not that much damage dealt. And Select does a good job running through. Stalker's blinking forward. Shoot the medevacs, CrunCher.
Well, he picked up 1. Selecting a little bit of minerals right now as well, but he's very low on gas. That's the whole reason why. CrunCher is getting a Warp Prism, so maybe he's thinking of getting at least a passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's got several gateways, and he can definitely make big double warp prism. Finally, charge goes down. Roddy's happy. Double warp prism. What do you make of that? Obviously, he
One
just
at
wants
the
to
top, one at
harass
the
on
bottom.
both sides of the map.
He's going to research shields now as well, so CrunCher doing a really good job with his upgrades. See Select right now dropping, floating over, or flying with 2 medevacs, and he's going to drop this 4th base of CrunCher.
3-3 is about 3/4 of the way done, but the 2-2 Marauders are going to be able to do so much damage to this Nexus. I wonder if they could possibly kill it.
Why is Select not dropping?
I
He's going
don't
to drop the high
know.
ground. Interesting. CrunCher has a pylon over here though.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
How many Stalkers do we have?
there are 5 Stalkers only on the map. Pylon gets picked
exactly
off
on
in
the
that
same
Oh,
moment.
look at this. Beautiful job by Select. Pulls the army way out of position, and maybe that's why he wanted to drop up on the high ground. CrunCher sees it, though, and he's going to bring back the Colossi.
Select has ghosts right now though, so if he's somehow able to drop those ghosts, maybe one Warp Prism is to harass and the other Warp Prism is to carry High Templars.
Could be. Could definitely be the case, as CrunCher has definitely put High Templar into that prism.
Not sure where the second Warp Prism is here. It's in
Yeah, it's in the 3rd base. Dark Shrine's also finishing, so I think we'll see DT warp ins.
Oh, nice blink right there by CrunCher. He's going to be able to clear this up quite easily.
Yeah, you got to kill the medevacs. 1 does fall. Second medevac. Oh, Select taking advantage of that army being out of position. Takes out a pylon, and ooh, good Storms, forcing Select back.
I was not a big fan of those Storms. He's taking a lot of damage, lost so many. Nice EMPs right there by Select. I'm a fan of those. does have Storm left, though.
CrunCher's still so bottled up in this choke. Needs to drop some storms. There's the good storms. And that Bioforce is going to melt away. Colossus goes down, though. Still dropping in the third base is Select. CrunCher warping in a couple of Zealots. I'm not even sure that that's going to be enough to clean it up. Ghost might get picked off, and does.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. This time CrunCher did take a ton of economical damage. He's only left on 34 probes.
Wow, all the way down. Wow.
71 SCVs.
48 workers killed.
What do you do when you're behind and you play Protoss, man?
That DT harass. Dark Templar making their way into both bases. Select's got plenty of scan, though.
Yeah. There's so many orbitals. He's such a good economy. They got that little observer as well. Poor observer, man. He
He's just hanging out, man. He's just looking at stuff. He can't even fight.
He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Literally.
It's only invisible bench, he says. It's a lie.
Nexus is going to fall here. Select really showing us that his multitask is perhaps on a higher level than CrunCher's. Dropping everywhere at once, and CrunCher just, you know, he's played a great game, but we can see that, that Select is better at being all over the place than he is.
He's going to drop the main now as well. I would have loved it. Like, CrunCher could have made his life easier if he just leaves one High Templar at every base, and he had the money to do so. He had it for a long time. Be able to feedback straight away as soon as you see a medevac. Get charged quicker, makes your life easier to deal with upgrades. Just a couple of minor things, but it's really hard, of course. And as we all know, that CrunCher has been inactive for quite a while, and I think that really displays in a long game when he's playing against a player who's as good as Select.
Early on, he looks fine, but later on, it gets a little bit messy. CrunCher going to push forward through the center of the map, try to make something happen here, but Select has a huge army and lands some great EMPs. Even sniping off the High Templar. Wow, Select, you're so good. CrunCher taps out. GG. And Select takes it down 2-0.
Yep. Convincing win for
Select.
Select.
Try this airplane thing again. Man, I did not make a very good airplane.
I don't know why you're so obsessed with throwing airplanes. I was about to sum up Select's record. Select lost last week against Lowly. He went 1-2, which was a little bit of an upset. I was definitely surprised by that. I don't know
Lowly
about
played
you.
great, though.
But Select was very convincing today, taking out CrunCher, so picking up 150 bucks and also saving his record a little bit. Not sure who he's playing next week, but we're going to tell you guys later. And now, Ben, it's almost time.
We have to play 2v2 against Sin and Todd.
And we're going to have to cast it, and we're going to have to play from a caster booth. So go easy on us, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, first of all, that the second game between Select and CrunCher was sponsored by iBuyPower. iBuyPower PCs, the PCs that power the North American Star League. There's one in there. There's a couple over here. A lot of them back there. Dim iBuyPower PCs.